Mental Health Monday.
Another episode of Mental Health Monday. Mental Health Monday.
3 things you shouldn't say to someone struggling with suicide. Go ahead.
Again?
You go first.
Oh.
Now you go first. We didn't record that one.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
That's number 1.
You got so much to live for.
It's number 2.
Is life that hard?
All right. Now break down why for each one.
So do what you gotta do is to me is really limiting, right? Because I am doing what I gotta do, but I still can't get over the hump.
I think to add to that, you just got to do what you got to do. Me reaching out to you to tell you I need help and I'm struggling with suicidal thoughts was me doing what I needed to do.
Right.
And you told me to find the answer when I thought you told me you'd have my back. And sometimes finding the answer is reaching out to someone who's not in the problem to help me. That's like someone saying I have a problem and you looking them dead in the eyes and saying you are the problem. That's what that does.
Yeah.
And when those people leave on the podium and at their funerals, it becomes I tried so hard. In terms of the person who's like, I tried so hard. And it's like, unpopular opinion. What you thought was effort was you deflecting your inability to help your friend or your loved one.
What's that guilt and liability again?
Yeah.
Personal liability, personal guilt. Right? I don't want to be responsible for this person who's dealing with that.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like, but that's your homie. That's your friend. That's your loved one. Right? So if that's what you call them, you technically are somewhat responsible in the sense if they're asking for help.
You're your brother's keeper.
Yeah. If you say that, right? That's what you believe. So yeah, now you make a great point about that. What was the second one I said? You have so much to live for. Right?
Top of the key, said this to my boy that I was talking to that I told you about.
Yeah.
You know how they say one's man's trash is another man's treasure?
Yeah.
You have so much to live for. No, I don't. I just told you I have suicidal ideations and I don't want to be here. That's when one man's treasure becomes another man's trash.
Right.
You think I have so much to live for. I'm telling you this is too much and I no longer want to live.
Right.
I'm telling you the truth that I'm existing in, that I see, that I smell every day I wake up. And you're telling me, nah, but you're a liar because look at all the beautiful things. And it's like, what do all the beautiful things have to do with me?
Right. I don't see them as beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't think they're beautiful.
It's just another thing that is burdensome. It's another thing that I'd rather just not exist to have to experience this.
To have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if your only answer is you have so much to live for, I just sometimes want to ask those people, did you really think about what the person's going through? Or did you just regurgitate what you've heard in church? Did you regurgitate what your parents have had to tell you for you to get over the hump? Because those words aren't always correct. A lot of us aren't self-aware enough to realize that great piece of advice I needed when I was down doesn't count for the person whose foot's halfway out the door. If anything, that just gives them a nudge.
Yeah. No,
that makes them get more quiet, and then they realize maybe I am right because I'm the one thinking of these things and you guys can't see it.
Exactly. And it goes back to what we said earlier. People don't know what to say sometimes in those situations. Yeah. But they know they have to say something. So I'm gonna just say whatever pops up that I think is right. Been told to say things like that. What do I say? How do I do? And it's okay to not know what to say, but it's even better to support. Hey, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
What do you need from me? Right? If you just need me to sit with you, we ain't gotta talk. We can just sit. If you need me to hear you out. But don't go in there. You've personalized it because of your own guilt and liability. Personal guilt and liability.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the third one I said? I said, don't.
You have so much to live for.
Have so much to live for. Just gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
And
you said third one.
What's the third one?
got the film. You don't want to say.
Oh,
yeah. It's all you.
I don't forgot that quick.
I mean, there's more. There's more statements that people have said that it's just like, why would you say that?
Family members love you, or we love you so much, or
love has nothing to do with someone who's suicidal. And it's funny because I'm asking you these questions, but it's like I'm telling you from my perspective as the advocate that has been dealing with a lot of people that are struggling with suicide or spiraling.
Mm-hmm. No, that's good. I think this is a good back and forth for people. I love it. I love it. Love is what's in the room when the danger is over.
You feel what I'm saying? Love is encouragement. Love is the house, but a person needs a shower, they need food, and they need space to think about what they're going to do. That's what decompressing is, right? And when you throw love at someone who is suicidal or in the middle of a bout, what you're saying is, you remember how, this is a talk you and I had personally, and I said I have a problem with dating people right now because I don't want someone to think that saying to me, but I love you, changes the fact that there's a problem in the room. Love isn't a band-aid. Love isn't bandages. Sometimes love is the poison that's blocking the way of actually handling what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's what, unfortunately, a lot of people do. I love you so much. How could you do this to me? Well, when your significant other or the person you believed in was complaining to you about how happy they were, well, how not happy they were, when they were telling you that things just don't feel right anymore, when they were expressing to you that I don't know what it is, but I can't shake this feeling that things aren't getting better, you didn't listen to them. You were just happy that they're currently not the problem. And that is the biggest issue that I see when it comes to suicidal ideations. We are so obsessed with things no longer being a problem. When they stop being a problem, we all stop working collectively.
Yeah.
We only work in the emergency.
We also only work just because we want to fix.
We work when the shots are fired. We never ask, how did the bullets get there? How did the guns get there? Who got the weapon? Who sold the weapon to who? Why was the weapon used?
It's reactionary to everything. But that's the whole healthcare field.
And not only, but that's not just the healthcare field. That's also the at-home field. That's also the in-life field.
Yeah, yeah.
So what we do is, it's not emergency unless you need a Band-Aid. You should have better knives that don't cut people. It's not an emergency unless you have to change the tire because now it's flat. You knew about the nail in the tire 5 days ago.
Yeah, tire bending.
Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? It's not an issue when the lights are off. You knew you stopped paying your bill 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Or you knew the person stopped paying the bill 4 months ago.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. But I think that's a mindset that we all have embodied, where we don't take the time to engage with that, right? One of the things is, I was reading one of his books that talking about nonviolent communication. I know there's some, everybody has discrepancies around that, but one of the things I pulled out of it was about we observe and then we also assess. So we usually assess, right, instead of observing the behavior, point out the observing of the behavior. Right, so before and how the example I've used it was you walking around and you sad, right, or you just down, or you just whatever, and it's like, oh, well, Juice, you look sad today. You must be depressed.
It's a big leap,
right? And we assuming, but we also assessing that person instead of saying, hey, Juice, you've been looking down all the time. Been looking down the last couple of days I've seen you. Is everything okay? Right? That's different than saying, oh, well, you look sad, you must be depressed. I never said any of that. But by saying that, right, that makes it super violent. So now you're going to maybe not say anything at all?
Yeah.
You might be going through something.
Yeah, that's it.
Or I'm not saying that, or I'm going to just blast off on you. You know what I'm saying? So, again, we are in a hustle bustle society. I've said it all the time. So it's very difficult for us. That's what one of the, outside of everything else that happened in the pandemic, right? one of the things that I felt like was the kind of a pro to the pandemic, where it made us slow down to think about what are we doing? We're moving like robots.
Yeah.
And then we're wondering why things are deteriorating, relationships not working out, or we're not happy. Right, because you've just been moving like a robot.
We became professional at avoiding the issues.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. Because if it's not in my front door, I ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah.
But it's piling up in the back, in the garage, in the basement.
Yeah, but that's in the garage. That's in the basement.
Yeah, it's in the
I don't
garage.
hang out there.
Yeah, I just got to go through there once, twice, and I get to it later.
I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get to it, but to get to it later is 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, and now you're trying to figure out where all this baggage is coming from.
Or why there's a brush fire in your basement.
Right. Or why there's a snake in the basement.
Yeah.
Or, a mouse in the basement, something like that. Lord forbid, please don't have a snake in the basement. I can't. I'm
He said, I am fearful, Lord.
fearful of snakes. But, just, I really think, and we've been, you think about, like, just kind of how we went through school and college, we were made to be like that.
Yeah.
We were made to be robotic. Right? Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
So when a crisis pops up. But, again, we got to do routine maintenance on a car. If you don't change the oil for the whole lifetime of your car, guess what? You don't change the tire, change the brakes, guess what? It's not going to run.